you have to do something, or there's no point even being on the city council. My big thing has always been, how beautiful is our city and how can we protect that beauty? One way we can, of course, views to the bay and the harbor, and I even just love looking at the mountains and with the snows up there. So I was able to get 4 votes, and that's what you need. That's all you need. And we saved the castaways up there on the hill, and we saved the park coming down. What's that street coming down? Oh, it is Marguerite, all the way up. And that park there that has a beautiful view out across the Corona del Mar to the ocean. So I was instrumental of things that were meant to me. I wasn't as concerned about the growth, and we had, that bulldozer at the top of the hill, and it was coming down. And but for me, it was more like, why are you here? I'm here for the ocean and the water and the climate, and so that's what I did. That was the main thing that I worked on continuously. Sometimes you get in a little trouble, though, the way you vote, if somebody else has a favorite job and they want the money. So I don't know. I think that pretty well sums it up. I always was fortunate. At one time I worked for City Hall, so I understood a little bit more about how the city staff themselves worked. So I knew the routine, and that's why I stuck with that pretty much, too. So I was able to... if I really cared about something, I was able to get it. So that was good. I don't know, one really fun thing, I have a picture of it even. I don't keep very many pictures, but I was at the Corona del Mar 5K, or is that what it's called, or is it 1K, with the kids there too? And they put me up on a pickup and let me shoot the gun. Start! Little things like that were always fun. And have an opportunity to open a building or anything. That was always such a great pleasure. So thank you.
Let's say before I was mayor and I was newly elected, and Denny O'Neill, then the mayor, and I were appointed to the committee for the Down Coast annexation. And that was the most important thing anybody ever did for this city. As it turned out, the annexation included the commercial, all the residential, about 2,700 homes, and all the timeshare, and the golf course, 2 golf courses. And after we had that annexed, we were able to negotiate with Irvine Ranch Water District, them buying the sewer system. But in terms of an economic return to the city, they represent about 25% today of our budget. So that was the most important thing. Actually, that's probably the most important thing in the last 25 years. And I loved doing that, and I was lucky enough to be with Denny and negotiate that. The most fun I had was going to the homeowner associations, meeting the people, meeting the citizens. Quite candidly, I like people, I enjoyed that, and it was always educational for me to listen to them, and then they got to listen to me.
The most important thing that I did on council, I was mayor pro tem at the time, and I have to tell you, there were so many things that we do, because it's an active city, but it still stands out in my mind, and that has to do with the Mormon temple. The issue with the steeple for the church was divisive in the community. I've never seen anything like it before, and that became my number one goal. It was to make it happen, and make it happen where everyone is going to have a love fest. And I'm going to tell you, anyone who knows it and was there knows it was a love fest. It took 9 months, but they got to it, and they settled down, and it worked out. It was a very important issue for many reasons. I can go on for 2.5 hours on that, but I won't. As mayor or on the council, the most fun, I tell you, I don't know that I could pinpoint one thing. The culture of the city doesn't change much, but the culture of the council does change. And back then when we were doing this, everything we did, we had so much fun, the camaraderie, not just with the council, but we would get on the Balboa Island ferry and we would take it to the other side with a group of people for an event. That's fun because everyone's mingling, everyone's talking, and everyone just lets their hair down and they have a great time. So fun is fun is fun. So there you go.
Well, the thing that was most significant about the time I was mayor was we had our city's centennial. And it was wonderful to be able to take an entire year and celebrate the history of the city and have the various different events like the Beach Boys and the can't remember, it was fireworks between the piers and the other events that we had, and we had a wonderful time. Well, I would say the most fun should have been when we were on the float in the Rose Parade, except it rained the entire time, and so that was not as exciting as I had hoped it would be, but still it was a great thing to do.
So the greatest accomplishments while I was mayor or on council, there's probably, I'm going to say two. So one was a goal of mine, and that was getting Sunset Ridge Park constructed. And so technically it wasn't dedicated until after I got off city council, but it certainly was, spent 9 years doing it, as well as the 20 years of residence before me. Probably the biggest overall accomplishment was getting the new city hall built over there at the Civic Center. I think it's been a great addition to our city, and I'm very proud of the building and what it means for our city. So the most fun thing that I did while I was on city council was I got to be a rider on the city's float, our centennial float, in the Rose Parade in 2006, I believe it was. I was mayor pro tem, and I actually had to beat back Todd Ridgway. He wanted to jump in and take my place, and I said, Todd, you can forget about it.
Well, the greatest accomplishment, I think, while I was on the council was getting the Civic Center built. It was a lot of work. The community got really involved in it. We had an election to decide where it was going to be put. And then we had a committee, and the community helped design the building. And it's turned out to be exactly as we had envisioned it, not just a city hall, but a true community center. And, thinking back on my time as mayor, I think the most fun I had was when I got to go and meet with the high school students and talk to them about government and local government, and also Arbor Day, going to the local elementary schools. I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun to see the youth of our community and what a great future we're going to have as they grow up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, would you please give a great big warm welcome to KKL 9 CBS 2 reporter and a Newport Beach resident, Michelle Geely. Let's hear it for her, the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you. Seems like everybody's in the mood to enjoy themselves tonight. Thank you, Ron. First up, I would like to invite to the stage Debbie Snavely. She is the general manager of this beautiful, beautiful hotel here in Fashion Island, VEA Newport Beach. I'd like her to say a few things about what's been going on here.
Thanks, Michelle. Welcome. What a true honor to have our first VEA Resort event be the Mayor's Dinner. Very exciting. You all received a taste of VEA as you entered through the lobby, and there is much more to come when we officially open in June. So if you allow me, I'd just like to take a minute and really thank our owners, Eagle 4 and Lion Living, their passion and creativity that they put into this resort. Yes. The passion and creativity that they put into this resort is truly for you, the community. So at this time, I'd really like to thank Table 16. We have Kevin Martin, we have Todd Pickup, Corey Kramer, Rick Weiner, Joe Moody, and with Lion Living, Frank Zurian and Pete Zach. So thank you, really, from the bottom of our heart. And we're looking forward to all of you returning in June. So thank you. Enjoy the evening. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. And did you know, we saw the beautiful entrance, but did you know that there is a bar in the back that we haven't seen yet that cantilevers over the golf course? And I'm told it's pretty spectacular. So as Debbie said, we will see you in June. All right, folks, what a turnout tonight. As your hometown girl, I am happy again to be your MC. And I have to share another little secret with you. As you can tell, you're bumping elbows with your neighbors because this is a sold-out crowd. And Ed Selich, our Sun president, is so dedicated to selling every seat. I think 4 people indicated over the last maybe 48, 72 hours that they weren't going to be here. So Ed quickly sold those 4 seats. So 4 of you are in those seats, double booked, but he wants to raise enough money for those CDM and Newport Harbor kids who will be awarded scholarships. So great job, Ed. And now will you please rise and join me in the invocation by Rabbi Reuven Mintz from the Chabad Center for Jewish Life, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Newport Beach Fire Chief Jeff Boyles with the assistance of the Newport Beach Police Department Honor Guard.
Thank you. Before I begin, you may have heard Vladimir Putin took a commercial Aeroflot flight earlier today from Moscow to Stockholm. He got off the plane, got in line to the customs desk, and officer says, "Your name, Vladimir Putin, occupation?" He says, "No, I'm just here for a visit." Mayor Kevin Muldoon, honored past mayors of Newport Beach, members of the City Council, and Board of Directors of Speak Up Newport, ladies and gentlemen, before I begin and ask you to join me in prayer, I'd like to offer some brief observations about our fine city and the unique character of her citizenry. While the impediments, restrictions, and shutdowns precipitated by the pandemic did its share of damage to the psyche, economy, growth, and stability of Newport Beach, the message spreading forth from one end of the city to the other is loud and clear. We are back, stronger and more resolute than ever. Not content with merely having things be as good as they were pre-pandemic, we are seeking to transform our setbacks into new triumphs as we look forward to a healthier, stronger, and more vibrant and robust future for ourselves and our children. This spirit of resiliency and determination is manifest in many of the recent developments throughout our city. In fact, I believe it can be felt within the energy of this room tonight. We are excited, we are motivated, and we are ready and roaring to go. This past summer, as the most potent strain of COVID was in its waning stages, we at the Chabad Center for Jewish Life held our grand opening for our beautiful new community center on University Drive, also serving as a home for the non-denominational Friendship Circle Center for Special Needs and the new Holocaust Education Center, housing the largest collection of artifacts from Auschwitz in the United States. This center will serve to educate the children from throughout Orange County about the calamitous effects of all forms of racism, bigotry, and hate. Many other organizations and enterprises have likewise been rebounding in bold fashion. This is who we are as devoted Newport Beachers and patriotic Americans. Give us our health and our freedom, and we will put forth our collective shoulders to the wheel to build an ever brighter jewel of the city along the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Even as great challenges and concerns continue to abound nationally and internationally, we shall neither falter nor despair, but dedicate ourselves anew to the values, principles, and ideals we hold dear. With that, I offer the following invocation. Elokeinu v'Elokei Avosenu. Lord our God and God of our fathers, we humbly ask you to bestow your blessings upon this august assembly of distinguished leaders and conscientious citizens who have gathered this evening for the purpose of celebrating the virtues of communal leadership and civil service. Endow all those in such positions of leadership with renewed wisdom, foresight, and motivation to strengthen the well-being of our beloved city of Newport Beach, California, doing so in a manner that fosters a spirit of brotherhood, unity, and cooperation founded upon mutual respect for the dignity you have invested in all your children, whom you have created in your own image. Cognizant as we are of the current tumultuous state of world affairs, we beseech you, Almighty God, to thwart the designs of those seeking the conquest and subjugation of fellow nations. Dispatch your shield of armor and gird with righteous strength those who stand in defense of liberty wheresoever those ideals are under assault. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. He who makes peace in the heavens, may he make peace for all of us and all of mankind. And let us all say, Amen. Thank you.
Honor Guard, post colors. Good evening, everyone. Please join me in pledging allegiance to the greatest nation in the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Welcome to the 40th Annual Mayor's Dinner, an annual recognition of past mayors and State of the City address by our 2022 Mayor, Kevin Muldoon. It has been a few years since we've seen all of you together at this event, so welcome back. And what fun for all of us to be among the very first to peek at our beautiful Newport Beach Fashion Island Hotel, VEA. As you heard me say earlier, this is a popular event. 477 seats were sold tonight. And now I'd like to introduce our dignitaries in the room. Please hold your applause, but I do think it's nice for the dignitaries to stand once I've called your names. And we are going to start with our current mayor. Once he poses for a pic, here we go. Kevin Muldoon. Current Mayor Pro Tem Noah Blom. Former Mayor Brad Avery. Former Mayor Diane Dixon. Former Mayor Duffy Duffield. Former Mayor Will O'Neill. Current City Council Member Joy Brenner. Former Mayor Jan DeBay. Former Mayor Evelyn Hart. Former Mayor Todd Ridgway. Former Mayor Steve Bromberg. Former Mayor Don Webb. Former Mayor Steve Rosansky. Former Mayor Keith Curry. Former Mayor Mike Henn. Former Mayor Rush Hill. Former Mayor Nancy Gardner. Former City Council Member Leslie Daigle Lindahl. Former City Council Member Jeff Herdman. State Senator in the 36th District, Pat Bates. State Senator 37th District, retired, John Morlock. Assembly Minority Leader James Gallagher. Assembly Member 72nd District, Janet Nguyen. Orange County Supervisor 2nd District, Katrina Foley. Orange County Assessor Claude Parrish. Orange County Supervisor in the 5th District, Lisa Bartlett. NMUSD School Board President Michelle Bartow. NMUSD Board Member Ashley Anderson. NMUSD Board Member Carol Crane. NMUSD School Board Member Leah Ursoilu. NMUSD Board Member Krista Weigand. NMUSD School Board Member Karen Yelsey. Our Newport Beach City Manager Grace Leung. And our City Attorney Aaron Harp. Fire Chief Jeff Boyles. Community Development Director Simone Jurgis. Human Resources Director Barbara Salvini. Utilities Director Mark Vukovic. Public Works Director Dave Webb. Sean Levin, Recreation Director. And now I'd like to introduce your co-chairs for this evening. They have worked so very hard on this, and it's just beautiful. Deborah Allen, Kathy Harrison, and Joe Stapleton. They have worked for months, folks, in advance of this evening's dinner to ensure that we all have a wonderful time. So Deborah, Kathy, and Joe, please stand up and be recognized. The Speak Up Newport Board of Directors would like to recognize and show their appreciation to the underwriters of this evening's event. Those names are being shown on the screen before you there. Now, without their support, this dinner could not be the quality event that it is. Underwriting a table shows their support for Speak Up Newport and all of the Newport Beach community. A portion of each underwriter's registration goes to the Speak Up Newport Scholarship Foundation, more of which you will hear about in a few minutes. The board extends their grateful thanks. And now I would like to introduce to you three-time mayor of Newport Beach and the current Sun president, Ed Selich. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Michelle. I want to welcome all of you to the 40th Annual Newport Beach Mayor's Dinner in the new and reimagined VEA Newport Beach Hotel. This is an annual celebration of the great city government that we have. And we have in attendance tonight state and county officials, current council members, former council members, city staff, former mayors, interested residents, and business people, and of course, Kevin Muldoon, the star of the show tonight. And we thank all of you for attending. Now, Speak Up Newport, it's your forum for discussion of civic issues of interest to Newport Beach residents. In the last 2 years has been difficult for all of us, and Speak Up Newport is no exception, and we've had to adapt. The 2021 dinner had to be canceled, and we replaced it with the summer reception last year. How many of you went to the summer reception? It was pretty nice, huh? And in addition to that, we had to cancel our monthly programs that we were doing live, and like many others, we went to Zoom programming. So we increased our audience, and now we're doing live programs again, and we've added Zoom, and doing better than ever. Our programs over the last 2 years have covered a wide range of community interest, including COVID, candidate forums, city projects, the housing element and RENA numbers, and homelessness, to name a few. Now, our programs are free. There's a reception beforehand. We have complimentary food provided by the Bungalow Restaurant. Wine is available. And we're supported by a $50 a year annual memberships, which gets you absolutely nothing. Except you can say you are a member of Speak Up Newport, and also that you know that you help to support the programs we put on all year. So you can go to our website, www.speakupnewport.com, to sign up for memberships, and we encourage you to do so. All right, now I'd like to introduce our board of directors. Hold your applause till the end as I introduce each director. Vice President Jeff Boyles. Secretary Hugh Logan. Treasurer Marie Marston. Board members Deborah Allen, Diane Dixon, Robin Grant, Rush Hill, Tony Petros, Steve Rasmussen, Joe Stapleton, Rhonda Watkins, and Kay Walker. And our honorary directors are also shown on the screen. So let's give them all a big hand. Those folks really hard, in addition to our committee for the dinner tonight. All the board members are working doing various things to help make this dinner a success. So we're a hard-working board. We have no staff. We put the dinner and all of our programs on every year just by ourselves. And now I would like to invite to the stage 5th District Supervisor Lisa Bartlett, who would like to recognize Speak Up Newport's 40th anniversary of the Mayor's Dinner. Lisa?
Well, good evening, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be here and to provide a certificate of recognition to Speak Up Newport. In fact, I had the honor of giving a presentation at Wake Up Newport, which is a lot earlier in the day than our Speak Up Newport here. So we have 39 years or 40 years of great work done by Speak Up Newport, and we have a certificate of recognition. So you've got the small print on the proclamation here, and I've got the big print that I can actually read here. So I'll read a couple of the whereases, which I think are real important. Whereas for 39 years, Speak Up Newport has hosted the Newport Beach Mayor's Dinner, where the mayor delivers the annual State of the City address. And as 2022 marks its 40th anniversary celebration, this year featuring Kevin Muldoon as the mayor, it is highly appropriate at this time that Speak Up Newport be extended special recognition and commendations by the public upon the occasion of this great milestone. And whereas the high esteem in which Speak Up Newport is held by myself as Orange County Supervisor, the City of Newport and generations of its citizens, as well as the community at large, stands as an enduring testament for all those who strive for the utmost in their personal, professional, public, and community life.
Now therefore be it proclaimed that Orange County Supervisor Lisa Bartlett does hereby take great pleasure in congratulating Speak Up Newport upon the occasion of its 40th anniversary, highly commends Speak Up Newport for the outstanding contributions it has made to the local community, and further extends sincere best wishes for continued success in all future endeavors. Congratulations on your 40th.
Well, thank you for this honor, Lisa. We're proud to have maintained this tradition for 40 years, and we hope to keep it going for another 40 years. All right, at your table, you're going to find an envelope that looks like this, green in color, and there are numbers in it from 1 to 10. And the purpose of this is to raise money for our scholarship fund. The idea is you make a donation and take a number. And after the State of the City address, former State Senator John Morlock will draw a number from the envelope, and the corresponding number holder at the table will get to take the centerpiece home with them. The table's at 12. There might be a duplicate number, and we'll let you fight it out and figure out who gets to take it home. So each year we award scholarships to Corona Del Mar and Newport High School seniors. In 2021, we awarded 4 $3,000 scholarships and presented these winners at last year's summer reception. We're now in the process of selecting 4 winners for 2022. Now, one thing that was brought to my attention right before the program started was I was handed an envelope by Fire Chief Boyles, and I want to read the envelope to you. So this is from the Newport Beach Fire Department. In collaboration with the ABC 7 Spark of Love Toy Drive, the Newport Beach Fire Department was provided funding to support our local Orange County community this year. The Newport Beach Fire Department is devoted to making a difference and has identified your organization as a recipient of a funding to be received. We are hereby pleased to donate to Speak Up Newport Scholarship Foundation the sum of $1,500. Thank you, Chief Boyle and the fire department. So going to college is an extremely expensive proposition with many students taking on enormous debt. We all know it's a national problem that needs to be solved. And while our scholarship is modest by some standards, it does become an important part of students' financial plan for their educations. And we have kind of an unofficial competition that goes on every year here to see which table raises the most money. Spinnaker Investments won in 2020, continuing a streak. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Spinnaker. And they've been winning for a number of years. Now, this year, we have an anonymous donor who will match every dollar you donate tonight with $1. So every dollar you donate gets us $2 to our scholarship fund. So please, dig deep into your pockets, kind of like this. You just dig down deep, and I'm digging deeper. Jack, notice how deep I'm digging. Notice how deep, and look what I came up with. And all you have to do is you take this dollar, or that's more than $1, but it's 100, but whatever it is. Anyway, you take it and you put it in the envelope and pass it to the next person. So folks, please donate. The challenge this year is to beat Spinnaker and raise more money than that table. Apparently, I forgot to tell you that after you put your money in, you're supposed to take one of the numbers out. But I figured you knew that already. So what do I know? All right. Well, let's raise a lot of money. Let's beat Spinnaker, and I don't want to see him win every year. So Michelle, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
So you guys, one of the most wonderful things that this event does every year is raise money for 4 graduating seniors from Newport Harbor and CDM, and we might know those 4. So let's be very, very generous tonight with your donations. Every little bit counts. As the mom of a Husky at University of Washington, I'm cringing every time I write those checks because she couldn't get into California, right? She's a smart girl, though. Yes, excuse me. And David, this just in, folks, breaking news. There are no fires in Orange County, thankfully. That's not the breaking news, yes. But if there are, Chief Boyles is on it, and you're calling me, right? David Pyle is matching dollar for dollar. He's matching dollar for dollar. So guys, get the money in the envelopes. So again, please keep in mind that one of the main reasons we're here tonight is to, of course, enjoy one another, but also to raise money for these scholarships for these 4 kids in our community. So guess what? Now you can talk all you want, eat all you want, drink all you want, do whatever you want for the next 45 minutes or so. And then we are going to return with the current and former mayors and with Kevin Muldoon's State of the City address. Can't wait for that. So you guys, enjoy. The dinner is going to be delicious, and we'll talk to you in about 45.
Well, it's great to be here at the 40th annual Newport Beach Speak Up Newport Mayor's Dinner. Looking back over the time when I was on the City Council, we had a great group of council members working together, and we accomplished a lot. We built the Civic Center, Marina Park, but the most important accomplishment was that we managed the city through the recession, the 2008 recession. We were able to reduce the workforce, keep services high, keep us within the budget, and then set the stage for economic growth coming out of the recession that's made Newport Beach what it is today. Well, I think the most fun project that I worked on with the City Council was the design of the Civic Center Park and the City Hall. Those are both internationally recognized designs. They're whimsical. They attract children from all over Orange County who come to enjoy them, and they're something that the community is going to have and enjoy for a long, long time. It's great to leave that as a legacy here in the city of Newport Beach.
The greatest accomplishment while I was on council was getting past a groundbreaking ordinance to deal with the drug and alcohol rehabs. As you know, I represented the 1st District. There was a time when that was really a big problem, and I'm very proud of that. It was a nationally groundbreaking ordinance to help regulate that for the benefit of both the disabled and for the residents. And then the second thing is just being able to represent the citizens of District 1 in Newport Beach. I greatly enjoyed that, helping people solve problems that were important to them in their homes. The most fun was just meeting residents and being involved in the city. It was really fun throughout, just to have the whole variety of experience and meet citizens from across the city.
While I was on council, the best thing that we did was to really re-examine the city's government structure in terms of employees and departments and that sort of thing. What could we privatize in terms of maybe helping out on the pensions? And as we did that, we got the employees to contribute a little bit more to the pension plan. And so I think all those things, we made it a more efficient city, but at the same time, a very productive city. I think the most fun I had as mayor was with the kids, because you say you're on council and it doesn't mean anything, but even little kids know that a mayor is something, and they would be so excited to meet the mayor. And so that made it really fun. Even my granddaughter got excited.
There's so many things I'm so proud of, but this city is such a wonderful city. But on the peninsula, my district, Lido House Hotel, Lido Marina Village has created a ripple effect of economic vitality, and it pushing it down to the Balboa Village. We've got so many exciting things happening in the fun zone and the Balboa Village Theater. This is the place where it is, and that's the fun. I've had fun creating and supporting all these opportunities to bring economic vitality to District 1, to the Balboa Peninsula. So thank you. It's a great night tonight at the Mayor's Dinner. Love it, love it, love it. So thank you.
My greatest accomplishment is to get a harbor department finally, get our bay managed because it was not being managed, so I'm very proud of that. And then secondly, getting it dredged to its design depth that hasn't been that way since 1938. And trying to think of a fun thing, I think it's fun to work with my colleagues, and they've taught me a lot, taught me how to get this done, the harbor and the dredging, and because I'm not a politician. I came into this as a boat builder, and I was helped out by a lot of these former people that took a liking to me, and without that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, thank you.
My favorite accomplishment, frankly, has been the finances of the city. I've been on the finance committee now for 7 years, pre-city council, current. We made it through COVID and have really established ourselves as a really strong financial city that benefits our residents through being able to fully fund our police department, fire department, and everything else that people expect of their government, with the ability to pay down the debt on the Civic Center as well as our unfunded pension liabilities. Most fun I have, frankly, is when I get to involve my kids. One of the things that I've really cared about is the ability to show that living in this unbelievable place is a real blessing and giving back matters. So serving with them at various functions, beach cleanups, you name it. But also being able to do the fun things like parades has meant a lot to me as a parent and hopefully made a huge impression on them as kids.
What was the greatest accomplishment while you were mayor or on council?
Keeping the train on the tracks. I would say the most fun I had was the Jazz Festival, which I'd never been to before, but it was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't been to it, I recommend going.
A great round of applause for Michelle Geely, your Master of Ceremonies tonight.
Thank you so much, Ron. How was dinner, everybody? Yes, delicious. Okay, now it is time for the annual class photo of our former mayors in attendance and the incoming mayor. I will introduce each in the order of seniority and ask each of them to take their place on the stage. And we are going to start with Evelyn Hart, 1984. Jan DeBay, 1997. Todd Ridgway, 2002 and 2004. Honorable Judge Steve Bromberg, 2003 and 2005. Don Webb, 2006. Evelyn, Jan, Todd, Steve, Don, Steve, Ed Selich, 2008, 2009, and 2015. I don't even see Ed here. Oh, here's it. Here comes Evelyn. So Evelyn gets seat 1. Next to Evelyn is Jan, then comes Todd, and then Steve, Don, Steve Rosansky, Ed Selich, Keith Curry, 2010 and 2013. Nancy Gardner, 2012. Rush Hill, 2014. Diane Dixon gets next to Rush, and she's 2016 and 2019. Kevin Muldoon, 2017 and 2022. Marshall Duffield, 2018. Will O'Neill 2020. And Brad Avery 2021.
Really there? Yeah. Jesus. Don't fall off the front of the stage. I might sit down with you. Yeah.
Round of applause for all of our mayors, past and present. Okay, I feel like we should all have a glass of champagne for this breaking news. Do you know that our mayor, Kevin Muldoon, is about to be a father for the second time in just about a month? June 20th, his baby girl will be welcomed into this world. Congratulations, Mrs. Muldoon. And they have a 3-year-old boy, so he'll be the big brother. Congratulations. And Kevin, I'd now like to introduce you as our mayor, current mayor of Newport Beach. It is time for Kevin to give his speech, and I just want to share one little anecdote. When I was a CDM mom on the foundation there and the chair of the home tour for many years, Lincoln Elementary mom, we had a parking problem, I recall, at CDM. And I was very frustrated because the kids couldn't park to go to school and everybody was late. And Kevin agreed to sit down with us at City Hall, and I was fiery and he was calm, and in the end it all worked out. So I just want to thank you for that, because it wasn't really my kid that I was fighting for. I was fighting for all of our kids, and he was a great listener. And I believe that you had bought maybe near CDM, so you were experiencing all the craziness there on drop off and pickup. So I just want to thank you for that. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our mayor, Kevin Muldoon.
Good evening, everyone. No, I think you left your mug up here. It is a pleasure to be addressing each of you from the beautiful new VEA Newport Beach. After 2 long years, it's good to be back in person. Let me begin by first thanking Speak Up Newport and all of the volunteers for organizing this wonderful event. Along with the incredible staff at VEA, who arrived hours ago to decorate this room and prepare our meals, thank you. If you can believe it, this is the 40th year this dinner has been held. That means I was just shy of 3 when the inaugural mayor's dinner took place. Secondly, and most importantly, I like to thank my best friend and beautiful wife, Heather, who is a mother to our son, Cannon, and as Michelle pointed out, the mother to our baby girl that we can't wait to meet any day now. And Heather, you're the only reason why I'm able to serve this city, because of the love, support you give to our family, so thank you, sweetie. That's a nice touch. I know that every one of us would like to thank the many staff members of the city of Newport Beach for their hard work and dedication throughout the pandemic. Each of you spent countless hours working overtime to keep our residents informed and free. I'd also like to take a moment to formally recognize and thank our military veterans, both active duty and retired, along with our first responders, Newport Beach Police Department, Newport Beach Fire and Lifeguard. Please all stand and be recognized. Former mayors and council members in attendance, thank you for being here for the celebrated tradition of honoring you and your service. And as we know, 40 is a very significant number in our Judeo-Christian heritage. The Israelites wandered the desert for 40 years. God flooded the earth for 40 days, and now I will begin speaking for 40 minutes. Tonight is not your typical celebration. For me, tonight symbolizes the end of some very trying times and the beginning of a new chapter, a time of renewed energy and to renew relationships. We can agree that the recent struggles caused by the pandemic were of biblical proportions. It has given many of us an opportunity to ponder some of life's greatest questions and most perplexing issues, like the meaning of life and how to vote on Measure B. During the pandemic, too many counties and cities in California exerted control over the lives of their citizens, violating constitutionally guaranteed freedoms, forcing businesses to close and adding to the fear of what was already an anxiety-ridden time in our nation's history. In Newport Beach, I'm proud to say that our city council stood up for small businesses and public spaces to remain open, allowing our staff to educate residents on health concerns while protecting individual liberties and livelihoods. Our council voted to keep our beaches open and refused to force small businesses to shutter their doors. In fact, during the pandemic, Newport Beach was governed more like the state of Florida, where businesses and beaches were never closed. Now, Newport Beach is as Californian as any city in the state. But what would be different if we were actually governed by elected officials from Florida? How would we be different? Well, the Florida version of Councilman Duffy Duffield would be quite different. Instead of being the inventor of the electric boat, the Florida version of Duffy would still love the water, but would find another way to make recreational boating peaceful and relaxing by inventing a power boat muffler that makes power boats as quiet as electric boats, choosing to call it the Muffy. That makes my jokes less funny, by the way. The Florida version of Councilman Brad Avery is not into racing sailboats or mentoring underprivileged young adults. Instead, he lives for NASCAR and NASCAR alone. But don't mistake him for his doppelganger, Florida politician Charlie Crist. Of course, Councilman Will O'Neill would go by Bill, with a B like Measure B. Rather than attending Stanford, Bill graduated from Florida State, the Harvard of the South, and keeps in close contact with his fraternity brothers. The Florida version of Mayor Pro Tem Blom would be the exact same as the California version. So it would be more interesting to take the Florida out of Noah to see what he would be like. Rather than a restaurateur that kept his locations open during the pandemic, he would be a clean-cut, mild-mannered insurance salesman. Avoiding risk at all costs, he would currently be watching this evening's program from home, by himself, wearing a mask, and quietly judging all of us. Regardless of where one lived during the pandemic, we all faced tragedies and unforeseeable hardships. It was a painful chapter for so many around the globe. Over the last few years, we have lost loved ones to the pandemic. More recently in Newport Beach, we've dealt with an oil spill and mourned fallen peace officers leaving their families too soon. Although we faced struggles and losses as a city, Newport Beach still found a way to thrive. Our city saw budget surpluses, accelerated our plan to pay down the debt, and gained new awareness of our blessings and the need to help others around us. Throughout these ups and downs, my colleagues on City Council and I had to adapt to changing times. We worked hard, and I would argue well together, displaying mutual respect despite great external pressures. And more importantly, the residents supported us along the way. As a result of our community's ability to come together, the state of the city coming out of the pandemic, I'm happy to report, is safe and fiscally sound. This year, we have a budget surplus of $18 million, thanks to strong revenue growth following the end of the pandemic. These funds will be utilized to greatly reduce long-term liabilities and fund capital projects. Newport is paying down our unfunded pension liability faster than any other city in the county. We are continuing to safeguard our beaches and harbors, including access, a right specifically enumerated in the California State Constitution, improving access for all people to enjoy. Last week, we showcased our human lift at Marina Park, making Newport the first public harbor on the West Coast to provide access to the water for disabled individuals. In a live and quite moving demonstration, Councilwoman Diane Dixon and Councilwoman Joy Brenner and I were able to see how lives will be changed for the better by the simple, inexpensive device, which now allows individuals from all around our region to come to Newport Harbor, where at no cost, with the help of trained staff, they can use our human lift to safely transport them into a vessel, allowing them to experience the freedom of being out on the water. The three of us met Bhumit Shah, a gentleman from Los Angeles who eagerly volunteered to be the first civilian to use our lift to be gently hoisted out of his wheelchair into the bow of a city boat. He had this to say to the Orange County Register, quote, "Newport Beach will now be on the map as being the more inclusive and diverse. It's amazing. It's great for mental and physical well-being and relaxation, and just having fun like every other American." Finally, thanks to the excellent dedication of Newport Beach Police Department, I'm happy to share that crime is at historic lows, down from the year prior. Yeah, you can clap please for that. Not all the problems we've been tackling over the last 8 years have been solved yet. We are now facing one of the toughest and most complex problems that almost every citizen in California is struggling with: homelessness. Our Newport Beach Police Department's homeless liaison, nonprofit partner CityNet, and new partner Be Well OC know the names and have built relationships with every individual experiencing homelessness in the city, with a goal of eventually placing them in a program aimed to get them back on their feet. Like so many in Orange County, we are doing everything we can as a government entity to solve the homeless crisis. But I believe there is much more work that can be done if we band together as private citizens. By activating new partnerships with faith-based groups, we can dramatically reduce those impacted by homelessness and build a stronger community. This is why I'm introducing this evening a local initiative I'm calling Renew Newport. Organized and operated by private citizens and faith-based nonprofits, with city assistance and resources, Renew Newport will focus on 3 ways to improve a community with regularly organized volunteer days. First, homeless outreach. This will be done with faith-based nonprofit staff with individuals who have a passion for and professional training to help homeless individuals. Second, citizens improving homes of neighbors who may have physical restrictions or reduced mobility from aging that have kept them from regular maintenance and upkeep. And third, education. Working with our local schools to offer volunteer tutoring and weeks dedicated to appreciating teachers and staff. Not only will Renew Newport help solve homelessness in our relatively small town, but it'll result in a safer community, as studies have shown that neighbors who know each other are the best defense against suspicious activity and home burglaries. So it is actually wise to have a good relationship with your nosy neighbors. I understand that this multi-year project is an ambitious undertaking, but what better cause is there than helping our neighbors in times of need? During the darkest hours, Newport Beach represented freedom like a shining city on the bay to her residents and visitors alike. We can also be a light to shine for others on sunnier days. Let us leave tonight looking towards our promising future, providing us a new chance to be loving neighbors. In my opinion, this is the most virtuous goal of all. The purpose of life, what we're called to do, if you will, according to Jesus of Nazareth, is to love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. This is the first and great commandment. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. To me, this is the simple meaning of life. May we be good neighbors, renewing relationships and facing the days ahead as a community that can get through anything together. Thank you for joining me this evening, and good night.
And now I would like to invite the Honorable John Morlock to join me on the stage tonight to draw the numbers for the table centerpieces.
And the winner is number 2.
Okay, thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 40th Annual Mayor's Dinner. Speak Up Newport thanks you for your attendance. And Speak Up Newport would also like to thank Debbie Snavely and VEA Newport Beach, Jim Walker, and the Bungalow Restaurant for their generosity. And folks, remember that cantilevered bar over the golf course here at VEA. Come back in June and check it out. Good evening, and make sure to join us next year for the 41st annual dinner. It's been a lot of fun. Congratulations, Kevin Muldoon. Can't wait to hear the baby name. Everybody have a safe night and see you next time. Thank you.